Whenever you're ready.
Okay, so how many of you guys been to funerals or gone to funerals? I'm sure we all have. And when I went to my first funeral, I was probably like 14 or 15, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't even know they had a viewing or anything like that. So when I seen them, they had the open casket, I was pretty freaked out. I didn't want to approach it. And which is pretty funny, at around the age of 20 or 21, I ended up getting a job at a funeral home as a secretary. When I didn't go anywhere in the back where they did the embalming, but I was kind of curious on what they did. So today I'm going to be sharing with you guys the steps in a dead body's preparation for a funeral. I'll discuss the sanitizing, setting the face, arterial embalming, cavity embalming, and the cosmetic. Now, sanitizing, well, when you hear the word, you pretty know it's to disinfect the body, to be clean, and that's what they, regardless of the circumstances of death, the entire body is sprayed with the disinfectant, because they all have to treat it as if the body has HIV. So they have to disinfect it. And then they let the solution dry on their skin, and once the skin is, once the skin is dry, they're able to, the person that's doing the embalming massages the body to loosen up the stiffness in it. And after that, what they do is do the shaving. And they shave everything in the body. The only thing they'll leave is just the eyebrows, the eyelashes, and the hair. And the only time they'll leave hair, like on the beard or something, is if the family requests it on the guy. Or on the girl, I don't know. So, and then the next process is setting the face. And setting the face is, which is like in the natural processing, of the decomposing process, the softer membrane tissue in the face, it dries out and it causes the eyes to sink into the eye socket. So in order to keep that from happening, the person that's doing the embalming sticks a thing called a semifiscal. That's what it's called. It's kind of like it's like a cone, and it has like a spear, like a bowl kind of shaped thing, and then it's put inside on top of the eye, underneath the eyelid. And it's to keep from the thing to sinking in from the eye socket. And then they'll put like some kind of adhesive cream on it. It's a potent thing to keep it moisturized so the skin stays soft. And so it looks nice. So the eye looks realistic. So that's what they'll stick in there. And then they'll, from the cheeks, and obviously the cheeks and the lips contract. And then to keep the mouth closed, I read this off of the ehow.com. To keep the mouth closed, a suture is threaded through the base of the gums across the bite, either with a thick curved needle or a special gun. The needle then breaks through the bone right above the upper teeth into the nasal cavity. After pulling through more sutures, the needle punctures the bottom of the nasal cavity in a different spot to enter the mouth on the opposite side through the new hole. So they have to do all that just to keep that mouth shut. And then moving on to do another procedure, and which is the arterial embalming. But before that, they have to do a little step. And I got that off of a book called Embalming Principles and Legal Aspects. It mentions that it has been estimated that after death, 85% of the blood is found in the capillaries, 10% in the veins, and 5% in the arteries. And then, which is the reason why they do the arterial embalming. And the arterial embalming, the person that's doing the embalming creates an injection in one of the main arteries, and the most common one is the one in the neck. And what they do is just to drain out all the blood, and they inject it with solution to wash through all the veins and get everything cleared out. And by the time this process is complete, like roughly 2 gallons of embalming fluid is filled inside the vascular system. And then which is led to cavity embalming. And the cavity embalming, which I thought was kind of interesting, is taking out the organs from inside. They cut open the inside of the stomach. I didn't even know that until I found this out. They take all your organs out, they drain all that stuff out, leave it sinking some kind of solution to kind of disinfect it. and inside of it they'll put a cream or some kind of powder also inside of your body, and then they'll clean everything out, and then they'll saran wrap it tight, or they'll stuck cotton inside your anus or the girl's vagina to observe the gases, so your body doesn't because if they don't do that, if your body's inside the casket, your body could rise up due to the due to the gases that are left inside your body. So the person who's doing the embalming needs to make sure all the gases are out so that doesn't happen. Imagine that happen when you're cut away. And then last but not least, which is cosmetic. And I'm pretty sure you guys doing the makeup, getting it all ready and stuff. Or sometimes they'll use the putty, like if there's some kind of wound or something in the face from what happened, they'll fill it in with some special putty inside so it looks more realistic. And then they'll apply the makeup on it and then dress it. They will have to wash the hair with shampoo like any regular person would. And and then they'll have it ready for the casket, and you guys, it's set to go to be seen by its family. So I covered today the sanitizing, the arterial embalming, the cavity embalming, cosmetic, and hopefully next time you guys go to a funeral, you guys know what the process it went through. When you guys now,
All right, well, the thesis is very clear. There's an excellent preview. When you go through the supporting points, they're always clear where you are, but I do think that you need to think a little bit about the language as you're moving from point to point, because it often feels like we're making a sharp right, sharp left, sharp right, sharp left. It's like, you know, next is this, next is this, next is this, and it just feels like you need some language that gets us, if you thought dealing with the interior of the body was a little complicated, imagine how complicated it is to deal with the gases, something like that. So you need a phrase that gets you there so it doesn't, to make the transitions flow a little bit more smoothly. On the presentation things, though, I think you do a good job. You look pretty confident while you're standing there. There are lots of descriptive gestures. Your face is animated while you're talking. I'm afraid you look sometimes like you're enjoying yourself too much. The eye contact is very solid. There were times when I thought at the first part of the speech that you're looking at the notes a lot more, and you don't really seem like you need the notes. And in fact, when you start shuffling through the cards, I'm wondering, well, why? You seem like you're on top of stuff. You need a simpler outline for yourself, because it doesn't really look like you're reading a lot of material there. You're just looking for what the next point is. A simple skeletal outline on a single card would probably be enough, and then you wouldn't have to do all that shuffling. On your voice, you project pretty well. There's pretty good variety in your voice. You know what? I don't usually tell people. You usually want to avoid the pauses and the awkward stops and starts here. You need to put some in when you're doing those transitions. And for example, when you get to the end of a particular point, we need to know, they don't have to be long, but it ought to be like a period at the end of the sentence kind of thing. Sometimes things just ran a little together. All right, and I like the style of the presentation's a little irreverent, but that's kind of the thing that you're doing to make it entertaining.